So thank you so much for coming. Our Zoom clients and guests mean the world to us, and we have such a wonderful group of clients. Many of them are here today, and we just want to thank you for coming. And we're especially honored to have Paul Goldstein as our guest speaker today. Paul played for Stanford, and he is a 4-time All American. He was the first person ever to win all 4 titles the year that he was here, all 4 team titles, right?
Wow.
The first one to ever accomplish that.
Me and my teammates were, yeah.
Aw, thank you. Exactly. Paul went on to play professionally. He reached number 58 in singles, 40 in doubles. And he has a lot of claims to fame, and I'll hopefully draw them out because I think they're really interesting. He actually has more titles in the challenger level than anyone else ever. And he also, for 9 years on the tour, was the highest ranked player with a college degree. For 9 years on the tour. So let me just start in. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. First of all, I'd love to get your impression of that doubles match.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Ellie, for being here, and thank this standing room only crowd for joining us for this chat. Thank you for your support of Zoom, and thank you for your support of Ellie. Looking forward to today. And I see a couple of future Stanford tennis players here in the front row, so that makes me really excited. Really entertaining tennis. I mean, I think what we just saw is why I love college tennis so much. I mean, what other opportunity do you have to be on a team in a tennis environment and have, the doubles point come down to just, a point here or a point there, and have everybody, just a half a court away supporting you. I think Mallory saving a couple of break points there at 6-all by, as Coach would like to say, playing to win as opposed to not playing to lose. She was down break point there, big first serve, ran around, cracked a forehand up the line to save one of those break points. I know Coach was smiling when he saw that. And then when you're returning serve, up 7-6, you can be a little bit more aggressive than if you're returning serve just to stay in the match. So that hold for Mallory there at 6-all was huge. And then they played an outstanding game there to put the pressure on the server, Cal, to keep herself in the match. This was, from a Stanford standpoint, it was a fun ending.
Yeah. So Paul, when you were the age of these guys here, how old were you when you got into tennis? And
well, this one's 13, so I started playing tennis when I was about 7 or 8. I had 2 older brothers who were very competitive and very athletic, and so I played a lot of sports. And I think it was when I was 12 years old where I started focusing really exclusively on tennis. Despite the fact that I started playing a lot of tennis when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, but still played the other sports. Still miss baseball, still miss soccer. I think those sports in particular really help with my tennis. For example, in soccer, I felt like the footwork. There was a lot of benefits I gained from tennis, and if any of you have ever seen me play either at college or on tour, you'll know that I wasn't good for very much, but I could move a little bit. So I credit part of that to soccer, and then from a hand-eye coordination standpoint, playing baseball was a blast. I think what I see today is a lot of youth specializing in any given sport, whether it be tennis, golf, soccer, just because it's gotten so competitive to play at a really elite level. I see more and more youth sort of starting to specialize at a younger age. My experiences was playing some of those other sports was a real benefit to my tennis. Not that I was thinking that at the time, but as it turned out. And then when I was 12, 13, I really got to a point where I needed to focus more exclusively on tennis to sort of continue to progress at the level I had started to progress at.
Why did you pick tennis?
Yeah, I think I was winning a little bit more in tennis than some of the other sports, and it's we can laugh about it, but I think there's a lot of practicality. Like, it's fun to do something that you're good at, and I got to be moderately good at it, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I loved the fact that I controlled my fate, and nobody could prevent me from being successful, and nobody could enable me to be successful. And that ownership, that accountability is something that I think always resonated with me. And so I think that's why tennis stuck perhaps more than some of those other sports. The fact that I was 5'0", 100 and nothing probably had something to do with it. Basketball or football wasn't going to be it for me. So
I can relate. So tell us about your college experience here at Stanford, and how that compared to playing on the pro tour.
Well, just a tremendous experience being at school here for 4 years. The tennis aspect of it was wonderful, but I think some of the friendships that I had, the relationships that I was able to foster, are things that today, as I look back, I probably value more than anything. Playing on 4 consecutive national championship teams with guys who become your best friends, with coaches who are your mentors and later in life become your friends, was an extraordinarily special experience. You go to work every day, to the practice court with these guys who are your best friends, you live with them, and in September, you're all sort of working towards a common goal to try to achieve come May, which is to win a national title, and to be able to start every year in September with that common goal, and then to work together side by side with these guys and bleed and sweat with them, and then to accomplish that goal, 9 months later, 4 times in a row, was extraordinarily special, and some of my fondest memories on a tennis court. And I've been on and off a tennis court for 25 years, and those moments are, today, some of my fondest memories of being on a tennis court.
Was one of those 4 years harder than the others, or as the years went, did the pressure build to, deliver on 4 years, or?
No, I didn't feel the pressure. My sophomore year, my freshman year, we were undefeated, so I had a pretty good team. My sophomore year, we actually, whether it was harder, we clearly weren't the favorites going into NCAAs. We had lost to UCLA. We were 0-3 against UCLA coming into NCAAs. We got another crack at them in the semis of NCAAs, and they were the prohibitive favorite. They were undefeated, having beaten us 3 times during the year. And we just came out and going into that match, thinking, all right, well, we got to get the doubles point to really have a shot. And we go out there and actually lose the doubles point in a match not dissimilar to what we just saw out there. And we come out and just put 4 straight singles victories together. I'll never forget, from 6 all the way down to 3, one after the other. I was still playing when we clinched, so all credit to my teammates there. But that was a year that we were probably, certainly not the favorites coming into NCAAs.
Any memories you can share from Coach Gould? Who's standing right there? This is being terrible.
I'd say that the lasting lesson that you get from Coach Gould is and you don't appreciate it while you're playing for him, but the spirit of competition is I think what Coach Gould embodies, and for my money, that's Stanford tennis, and that is Coach. And that proper spirit of competition is going out and doing whatever you can to try to figure out a way to be successful, but doing it with integrity, doing it within the rules, and doing it in such a way that whomever your opponent is someone who you can break bread with after the match, share a meal with, just doing it with high class and high integrity. But being as competitive as they come. Not giving an inch, but doing it with high class and high integrity. And so that's, to me, that's what Coach Gould is all about.
Wish we could all play for him.